Hello everyone, my name is Laphel, and today I want to talk about Team SMG. So on paper, Team SMG has a crazy roster. As you guys can see on the screen, they should be one of the favorites to actually go to M4 representing Malaysia just because of how crazy talented the entire roster is. They got Box in the jungler, they got Hit all the way from the Philippines. Smooth, I would argue, is one of the best EXP laners here in Malaysia right now, and James is a coach with a lot of crazy experiences, right? So anyways, I want to talk about it because even though on paper they look strong, but after week 1 of MPL Malaysia, I'm not too sure. So let's talk about it. First thing I want to talk about is Hate. Now, let me start off by saying Hate is one of the best mid laners here currently in MPL Malaysia, and all for just one simple fact, and that is he is one of the fastest mid laners here in Malaysia in terms of rotation speed, right? Because he gets a lot of advantages in his own lane, and of course that is also by the help of Noir, the roamer. It is a mid duo, so you know, credit where credit is due. Both of them are doing great, but he understands the matchup in mid, and he also understands the matchup in the EXP as well as the gold lane. So we can definitely see he has the decisiveness. He doesn't second guess himself. He knows which lanes to go to and actually try to get an advantage or try to neutralize a lane advantage. And I feel like that is a very, very good quality for him as a mid laner, and that really impacts SMG's game.
Hero to take down. We are now 4v3, first blood going over the Hate as he draws the first kill of the game in a brand new MVL.
Nicely done. He might get a second one here. He's looking for Kuza, predicts it well, gets a second. That's a double here, already achieved by Hate.
For the Beatrix in the backline, Hate dealing 1v3. Does he have black shoes? Yes, he does. He gets back. Loliel's gonna be able to TP out with the battle mirror image as Noir gets the kick off the Kuza into the demonic Force Hawk, dropping real low. Astro's Eye gonna find him in the back line as Kuza gonna get picked off. Smooth, not quite done. He's still following him. Matilda gonna get carried out. Loliel's being chased down by Noir, misses the flicker, but Smooth picks.
So we established that Hate is an amazing mid laner and Noir is helping him out, but I want to talk about communication because I've had the privilege to actually have dinner with Villar, Hate, as well as the entire Toda team. And I was fortunate enough to ask Villar as well as Hate, in the Philippines, what would you guys consider as the absolute worst mistake you could do? And they did not say a limited hero pool, they did not say the draft, they did not say the rotation, they did not say the overextension. They said the biggest mistake a team can do is miscommunication. And that is basically the decision making from the shot caller, as well as how the rest of the team goes throughout the shot calling, if that makes sense. But basically it's miscommunication. And in this team right now, at first I wasn't too worried about the communication, but after watching the mic check, I'm second guessing myself.
Easy guys. Okay,
nice
okay, okay. Now objective.
Yeah. Woi, boleh flank try lock try lama gadang. Dapat flank ni woi. Nice!
Wait. Alert.
They focus bottom. If they come in, we kill.
Okay.
Baca
Bagi dulu attack dulu.
nak disiplin nak tunggu lock ke macam ni?
Disiplin lah.
Disiplin guys.
We can wait. Pada. Nice. Alert.
Dia baca. Weh, dapat ye boy. Dapat ye.
Nice one bro.
Let's top again.
Watch bot. Wait.
Boleh ke mid?
Try mid only.
Look at pressure je.
Conceal with me. Alep, kau slowkan dong.
Carry no figure.
Go.
Cancel already, bro.
Just tower. Angela no ulti. Back first, kiting boy. And why? Why?
Now I'm sure the team is trying their very best to talk a similar language, right? But hearing their mic checks after the game, I still think it is not optimum because as you guys saw, in the first mic check, there was a lot of the players speaking in Malay, Bahasa Malaysia. And of course, the mic checks is only a portion of the game. It's not the entirety of the game. So I can't be super sure if they only just clipped the one where they were speaking in Malay. But I just want to say if that is the situation, then it's going to be very difficult because the shot calling is actually a complex question that Hate cannot participate in. And the question is basically, do we want to go a little bit more aggressive or do we want to play a more disciplined game? You know, go with the game plan and play it a little bit slow. And because they were asking in Malay, Hate cannot give his 2 cents. He cannot contribute to the conversation. And for me, if you want to go to the World Series, having a baseline of communication like that is not good. It's not ideal, right? In the third game, we can see that they were speaking in English a lot more. But mind you, the first game is way more intense compared to the third game. So I'm worried if the game gets more and more difficult, you know, it's a nail-biting game, they might just revert back to speaking in Malay and then start having Hate outside of the conversation instead of included inside the conversation. And why this is bad is because Hate is an experienced player. He's very smart about the game. And I feel like having his input would be great. He, as a mid laner, would understand that, all right, let's do this, let's avoid that. But if you can't contribute, then, you know, for me, it's a waste of having a talented player like Hate in your main lineup. Now let me show you an interview from My Game On TikTok page. And by the way, shout out to My Game On. Make sure you guys, My Game On, make sure you guys go to their TikTok page to catch exclusive player interviews.
I think it's been a month. It feels good here. Nothing big changes. Just the food and language. The nasi lemak one. I don't use Lilia that much. I mean, we have to pick that Lilia because they pick Eve. That's why I played Lilia 2 times. It feels good, but I don't really want that. We play as a team, we win as a team, we lose as a team. Thank you for supporting me. I'm new in this MPL Malaysia. Let's keep supporting my team. Thank you for everything.
Looking at the interview, we can definitely see how Hate communicates with the rest of his team, which is basically yes and no. Do we want to go? Yes or no? Do you want a gang? Yes or no? Do we want to go for Lord or team fight? Yes or no? And I guess in the local scene that is still fine, but and again, it's just week 1. They definitely can get better, but that's what I want to see. I want them to get better in terms of communication, because I feel like if they're just talking on the basis of yes or no, it's not going to be that great when you go up against like crazy strong teams from other regions that have perfected their communication. So that's the first thing I want to talk about SMG. I want them to perfect the communication. I know it's going to be a struggle for the Malay players to speak in English. It's going to be a struggle for Hate to adopt English, as well as try to learn a little bit of Malay if he has the energy to learn in his week. But it's also going to be challenging for the coaching staff as well as the management staff to make sure that everyone is on the same page. It is going to be a struggle, but for me, it's definitely worth it because, again, M4 World Series is going to be crazy. You guys need to be the very best to make sure that you guys win. The second thing I want to talk about is optimizing Box, because Box used to be a very, very scary jungler for his farming as well as damage output. He is very smart in knowing the most optimal way to get his farm, and that was a crazy trait when he debuted in MPL Season 7, if I'm not mistaken. He had like the highest gold per minute, highest damage per minute. It was crazy. It was insane, and a lot of people knew Box just because of that. During that time, he used a lot of Yisun Shin, and throughout his career, we can definitely see he is accustomed to playing the Assassins as well, the Lancelots, the Hayabusas, the Ling. So a lot of good damage dealers, and he's very good at that. Now, when he gets into SMG, mind you, the way that SMG plays is control. Their main story of play is control. They control, like the mid laner sets up the tempo, help win the gold as well as the EXP lane, and then the jungler's job is to control the jungle, be it SMG's jungle or the enemy's jungle. And we can definitely see it being achieved when Box was using Akai. He was able to collect all of the farm, and I mean all of the farm. He created a very big gap in terms of level as well as gold, and it was amazing to watch. Absolute masterclass from SMG. It was great. But again, he only was able to do it with Akai. He was not able to do it with other heroes. Once Akai gets banned, then he started going to the Baxia, and in terms of his pathing, I could definitely see the idea. But because there's no added crowd control from the heavy spin of the Akai ult, then it's not that impactful, because we definitely saw how when he uses Akai, he's really showing his mechanical prowess in the way that he's positioning himself opposing to the team fight. He makes sure that he either pins the enemy down, which is mostly the case, and it really sets up Hate as well as Sasa to deal massive amounts of damage. So his Akai is great, but again, that's a singular hero. It's very easy to ban him out, and we definitely saw the big impact when Box cannot do much into the game. So I want to see Box a little bit more optimized, because I feel like he's a very talented player. It's just that he needs to find the correct heroes to play in according to the SMG style, the control style. So those are the main two things that I want to see improve from SMG, the communication as well as utilizing Box a little bit more. So let me know in the comments down below if you guys are okay with me creating English content, because again, I don't want to alienate my Malay audience. I understand there's not a lot of Malay content out there, so that's why I'm creating Malay content. But if you guys are okay with me speaking in English, then I'm more than okay with creating more English content. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below. Let me know what are your thoughts on SMG. I think they're great, but I want to see more. That's it for me, Laphel. See you guys in MPL. Bye-bye.